Good evening. Thank you for tuning in to the Boy Scout Roundtable. My name is Tony Florent. I'm the Scoutmaster for Troop 308 in Biddeford, Maine. With us tonight we have some of our Scouts, and in particular our Senior Patrol Leader, Denali Myers-Florent. Denali, as a co-host, would you be willing to introduce your Scouts?
I would love to. To my left, starting in sequential order, we have Mark Philbrick, our Junior Assistant Scoutmaster, also known as JASM. Next to him, we have our patrol leader of one of our patrols, Devin Cheetah-Wilmont. And to the final, but not last, Scout, we have our librarian, who is Evan Paquette.
Great. Well, thank you guys. I really appreciate you joining us tonight. And you got to stop saying tonight. That's kind of a scout camp thing. We'll talk a little bit about scout camp tonight and a little bit some of the other concepts of scouting that make things interesting for you guys, I hope, and for those viewers that might be interested in joining Boy Scouts at some point in the future. I'd like to start off by asking, you guys know that we're working together all the time. And you guys fondly remind me that Boy Scouting is what led?
It's boy-led.
Boy-led.
It's a boy-led program.
Okay. So
It's venturing, youth-led, and venturing.
It's youth-led in venturing?
Yeah.
Right. It's youth-led in Boy Scouts, would you say?
Well, yeah, but boy-led, meaning
Boy Scouts.
boy runs it, and in venturing you have a co-ed program, youth-led, because it can be a male or a female.
Okay.
Youth.
So for those people that don't know anything about the different kinds of scouting programs, we have Cub Scouting, we have Boy Scouting, and venturing, right? And so you're talking about venturing is a youth-led program because it's 14 to 21-year-olds, it's co-ed, so it's a little bit different than Boy Scouting where typically we would say boy-led, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's what your point was?
He's being politically correct.
He was just being correct, and I just wanted to clarify for those of our audience that might not know what that means. So, so let's talk a little bit about what you folks get out of scouting, and in particular, talk about whether you guys were Cub Scouts and then joined Boy Scouts, what that experience was like. Do you want to start, Evan?
Well, when I was in Cub Scouts, I was really just having fun, and going to camp and stuff was really fun for me. It was pretty much being something to do with my friends, and pretty much you just have fun and play with your friends, but it's not really all about playing. It's about learning and adapting to what you're going to need in the real world.
Great. How about you, Devin?
Pretty much the same thing. The only difference is transition to Boy Scouts. It was definitely hard, but yeah, it's still fun.
Mm-hmm. What was hard about it?
Probably getting used to all the new stuff, not as much happening as what's happening in Cub Scouts, not as much, but still doing it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. So we have a couple of other things that I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about. You can see there's a little bit of difference in our uniforms, and for those people that don't know what we're looking like, we almost all have different scarves. Denali has a sash on. Denali, do you want to talk a little bit about the sash and what it means?
Yeah, I'd love to. This sash, it is white with a red arrow on it. It represents that I am an Ordeal member in the Order of the Arrow. The Order of the Arrow is the, it's the highest.
Society?
It's not the highest, but it's definitely you get elected to it by your fellow peers in your troop, and it shows that they trust you and that you're an example.
Okay.
An example to the other boys, and showing that you know how to run things and get things done.
Yeah, one of the requirements is you have to do a lot of camping too, right?
Yep, a lot of camping.
15 days over a 2-year period.
15 days, 2-year period, only one can be a residential summer camp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's a lot of nights out for you guys. Mark, why don't you talk a little bit about your uniform, and in particular your newest accomplishments.
My beautiful neckerchief.
Yes, your beautiful neckerchief, yeah.
Okay, so my neckerchief and then the badge down on my shirt, these are my Eagle Scout badge and neckerchief, and Eagle Scout's the highest honor you can attain in scouting, youth or adult-wise. There's not a higher one. And it's a ton of leadership. It's a leadership requirement. It's leadership award. It's all based on being able to lead yourself, being able to lead others. service to your community, that sort of thing, and it's an amazing thing.
Oh, great, awesome, and congratulations! You're one of our more recent Eagle Scouts, so that's awesome. Nice job, great. So Evan, you have a little bit of different scarf. You don't have a scarf; you have a bolo, right? So anything particular regarding the bolo versus, say, Devin's scarf?
No,
No?
not really.
All right, it's just a different way of representing. We have different pieces of the uniform, and basically we can use the scarves or the bolos, either one, but different pieces. Why don't we talk a little bit about ranks? Do you want to speak to the different ranks that
Yeah.
you folks go through, and what might be the requirements and
There's
ask these guys?
a couple different ranks in the Boy Scouts. The first one being Scout. It's when you first join the troop. There's very few requirements. It's mainly actually learning about the troop, learning the Scout Oath, Scout Law, that sort of stuff. And then you move on to Tenderfoot. Tenderfoot is a little bit more advanced, but there's still not very many requirements. It's mainly basic Scout skills such as knots, a little bit of first aid, and
Camping.
camping. Definitely camping, learning what Scouts really is about.
Physical fitness.
Yes, physical fitness. You do a little bit of running, push-ups, stuff like that. And then you move on to second class. Second class is another step up the chain. It's not the hardest, but you further learn your Scout skills, learning more advanced knots, more advanced first aid. You really focus on finalizing the skills that you have learned over the past two ranks. It's really the memorization stage, whereas Scout was get introduced to what you are going to learn. Tenderfoot is learning it. And then Scout, second class, is when you really hammer it all home. Then you move on to first class. And first class is where things start taking a turn for leadership. It's the Scouts' time to show that they've learned many of their basic Scout skills, and they're ready to take that next step to help the Scouts and the Tenderfoots that are coming up the ranks. You have to earn some merit badges, among some other things, and it shows that you're on your way to become something bigger than yourself.
So Evan, you're a first class Scout. What are you working on right now towards the next rank?
I am working on Star Scout currently, which Devin has earned. I am working on the physical fitness merit badge, which I need to obtain. You need how many total merit badges?
Star, I believe
it's like
you need
2.
6.
Well, it's one of the 6 that I have, almost 6.
Great.
And pretty much I just need a couple more requirements to get down to my star. And it's pretty much really fun so far.
Yep. Also, isn't a leadership requirement required? with that?
Yes, you have to have a leadership role for 4
6
months.
months.
No, it's 4 first.
I think it's 4 at first.
4 for Star,
Yep.
I think.
And then star would be 6.
Life is, yeah.
Six for life, Star in life. Sounds right.
There's a tenure of time you need to,
There we go. That's the safe answer, Mark. Thank you. See, you're useful.
somewhere between 4 months and a year and a half.
Perfect.
Let's go with that.
Yep.
Well, once you get star, which Devin has, you get to go to life, which Denali has, and then become an eagle, also known as a Scout's highest honor.
Great. So you're a Star Scout.
Yep.
All right. And you're working towards?
Life right now.
All right.
Pretty much just merit badges needed left.
So do you have any Eagle required merit badges left?
Most of them.
Most of them. Okay. Yeah. Those can take quite some time.
Yep.
Mark, how many merit badges did you finish with from an Eagle perspective? I
What
know
was
you're
required?
continuing. Well, no, in total, when we took a snapshot in time and you got your Eagle, I know you're still continuing to work on merit badges towards your Eagle Palms, but how many? Can you give us a flavor on the actual merit badge piece?
35 or 40?
Okay. And so, what's the balance of Eagle required versus non-Eagle required?
Well, to get Eagle, you need to earn 12 of the 15, because a few of them are those optional.
Right.
You can earn this or this. So I have my 12 Eagle badges, and then the rest of them are all the non-Eagle electives
Okay.
that I've decided to earn through summer camp or just here working with counselors and other scouts.
Great. Awesome. Okay. We actually have I think a PowerPoint of summer camp that I wanted to just bring up and talk a little bit about with you two gentlemen who actually went to summer camp. We have a lot of camping opportunities, whether it's, camping weekends. Sometimes we've gone to Camp Nutter, which is in Acton, thank you. We also go to Camp Hines for weekend trips up in Raymond. We went to resident camp on Griswold Scout Reservation, which is in New Hampshire on the other side of Lake Winnipesaukee and Gilmanton Ironworks.
Yes, Gilmanton Ironworks.
And in particular this year we tried something different. We went to Camp Bell, which was, I guess...
One of the
Scout
two.
reservations also.
Yeah, so it's more of an experiential camp that we went to. So one of the things on the PowerPoint, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, what did the 1,000 feet represent? Do you have an idea what the 1,000 feet is on the top of that pyramid?
500 scouts.
No, not close. That's funny though. That was the elevation that Mr. Russo and I locked in, top of the mountain, where we had to climb 4 or 5 times a day to go up to our camp. We also had 14 youth go. Right, we had 4 adults over that time period. What were some of the most noticeable experiences you guys had at summer camp?
Probably how much we cleaned over it.
Okay, all right. You want to expand on that?
Yeah, let's just say the first night we stayed up cleaning until around 10 or 11.
Mm-hmm. And if I was counting, I'd say 10:30. But yes, okay, yeah. And then what about the second night? How did you guys do the second night?
We kept getting better, and then just one night we just bombed it all.
Yeah. But by the end of the week, what time did you finish?
Around like 30 minutes in.
Yeah, right. So
yeah,
by 7
30.
o'clock, you guys were pretty much done. Yeah. Evan, I think just my impression of your summer camp experience, you took on the cooking challenge like completely head on. You want to talk a little bit about that?
I was a cook for the week, yeah, and you have so much fun. Boy Scouts is a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
You have so much fun just hanging out with the boys. You do so much stuff together at camp. It's unbelievable how much you can get done in a week. You really get some maturity, I would say, I guess, and you just learn how to do stuff by yourself, not being babied, I would say, by your parents, and you learn how to do lots of new things that you probably not have learned so far.
So talk to me a little bit about how the whole process of cooking just went. I mean, what showed up every morning and every night?
Oh, every morning and every night for dinner and breakfast, there was a little red cooler brought to you by our camp director, Kevin.
Mm-hmm. Shameless plug, but okay, go ahead.
And you had to unpack the cooler, see what you got for your meal, and you had to either put it on the grill. There's a little oven that we had, and you had to put it in there to cook it or bake it, I guess you could say, because it's an oven.
Right.
And then pretty much you just cook, yeah.
I thought it was baking.
Yeah, we had some bacon.
No, I thought you were baking because
Baking,
it
too.
was an oven.
Bacon. Oh, I thought
Yeah,
you
I
meant
was under the
bacon. I was
impression
like, yeah,
that
there's
they just
bacon.
brought an oven up the side of the mountain for you to use.
No, thankfully they had patrol boxes already all
Yeah.
set up there, which was a
Yeah,
huge
we didn't have
bonus.
to lug them up.
Yes, 1,000 feet up would not have been fun.
No character development there.
I think that was more the fitness piece than the character development.
Yeah.
There's some character
Could
development
go both
to be
ways.
had in there.
Yeah. Well,
Depends
go
on how they
both.
act that morning.
yes, there was a lot of acting in the
And you
morning
can't
too.
forget,
it
at camp
was.
they have showers, so Scout is clean.
Nice. Again, a nice plug to the Scout Law. That was good. Thank you.
So, Evan, how many times did you shower exactly?
I showered almost every single day.
Almost. Keyword
Last
there.
Okay, a Scout is truthful. Did you actually shower every single day?
I pretty much
Okay,
showered.
good.
Last summer I showered like 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Yeah, it can get a little dusty at camp.
Hump
Dirty.
day.
How many times did you shower while you were at camp?
I showered every other day.
Wow, that's impressive. It's great. All right, so Denali, quickly, you were on summer camp staff on the same reservation that we were at for summer camp.
Yes, Griswold Scout Reservation, the land mated for scouting.
Okay, and so what about, just talk about your experience as a staffer.
It's a lot like summer camp. It's basically summer camp, just
Get paid.
8 times longer. I had a blast. The experiences that you make, the people you meet, they're going to stick with you forever. You meet everybody from every corner of existence. It really is a true eye-opener to how big everything is. And this was my second year on staff, so watching kids come back and still remember me from the year before, it's something to say about, you know, that you're doing something for not just yourself having fun, but these kids will remember you for the rest of, hopefully, their lives, and you did something that changed them.
Right. Good. Different kind of camping experience, but more along the lines of training. Mark, I know you were part of one of our nationwide trainings in the Boy Scouts, NYLT, which stands for what? And can you talk a little bit about it?
National Youth Leadership Training.
National Youth Leadership Training. Okay, great.
NYLT is it's a week-long intensive leadership training course. It goes all out. It's we go to camp, have everything set up. We'll have a staff to teach all the youth. We'll do PowerPoint presentations. We'll teach about quality communication, problem solving. What else do we have? There's a lot of the cooking and stuff that goes into it. Resolving conflict, setting your own goals and vision and all that.
Right.
And it's all the things that'll make you a better leader. So the goal is, when the course is done, the participants will leave better leaders to go back to their troops or their units or whatever.
Sure.
So they can become better leaders there and help others in the troop.
Yep. And so it's a week long. How's it led?
Completely youth-led.
Okay.
Very youth-led.
Yep.
We have the adult leaders because, as a program, we need the adult leaders there for safety and in case something comes up.
Sure.
You need the adult to take over. But it's we had I've been on staff 2 years now. We've had two different head leaders, the scoutmaster, a course director,
Right.
and both of them turned it over to the youth. They said, "We don't want to run it. You run it. We'll be here to support you."
Right. And how did you feel about that?
I loved it.
Yeah.
That's what the program's here to do.
Right.
And they're there enabling us to do what we're supposed to do and set the example for everyone else that was there.
Right. Awesome. So there's a lot of opportunity basically for summer camp experiences, where what we call resident camp, where we'll take Boy Scouts camping basically for 6 nights, 7 days, give them that experience. There's a lot of different opportunities. The reason I'm leading to this is we're going to show a quick little video on how to become a scout, and one of the ways to join scouts, get a little bit more information about it. But as that's being cued, we also have the NYLT experiences that for scouts, we typically send a couple of scouts a year to National Youth Leadership Training. And we hold that locally up at Cape Pines, run it the full week, and we nominate a couple scouts so that they can come back and use those skills to teach others. There's camping weekends where we just, like I said, take a couple nights and go camping on scout property or whatever it might be.
Ravioli.
Yeah, and we do a lot of cooking too while we're at it.
I didn't go to that one.
Which one?
The ravioli one.
The ravioli. Oh, yes, that was at Camp Hines, yes. Yeah, we did have a camping experience where we
ravioli at Camp Hines.
a lot of ravioli.
At
But
Camp Hines.
so basically, if anyone is interested in joining Scouts, we're going to continue this discussion right after this video. Thank you. Or maybe we need another second. So.
I joined Boy Scouts like a couple years back because I had a friend in it. He always talked about the cool things they were doing, like hiking trips and campouts in the mountains. But now that I've been in scouting for a while, it's so much more than that. Like, don't get me wrong, the campouts are awesome. especially when we go somewhere cool, like one of the BSA's high adventure scout camps like Philmont, or the new Summit Bechtel Reserve. Now that I'm getting older, I'm seeing how Boy Scouts is preparing me for my future. Through the Merit Badge program, I've been able to do some pretty cool projects on things like engineering, photography, and video. They even have a new Merit Badge on robotics. It's amazing when you hear about guys who have achieved some pretty cool things and then you learn, whoa, they were an Eagle Scout? In fact, you'd be amazed at how many successful and famous people were in scouting. So now I'm working toward Eagle Scout. And yeah, I'm taking on more of a leadership role in scouting. I still like hanging out with other friends, but the guys I hang out with in scouting, well, we'll always remember the laughs around the campfire, the kayak trips down the river, and all the other stuff we accomplished. Hey, if you're really into extreme hanging out, give Boy Scouts a shot. Trust me, it'll be the experience of a lifetime.
Great. All right. So welcome back, and thank you for joining us again. So Denali and Mark, you guys, I think it's safe to say, have gone to quite a bit of training. You've learned quite a bit. You've applied quite a bit to your scouting experiences. You certainly are more senior without using the title senior, like as in senior patrol leader.
Not as a senior as you are,
Oh, sure.
perhaps,
Thank you.
but
All right.
yes, we have done our fair share of scouting.
Okay.
Sure.
Not as many years as you have,
Okay.
but
Well,
I've done it
we've been
actually
here
as
longer
long
than
as you
Mr.
have.
Wunderlich.
Yeah. Yes, Mr. Wunderlich has a few extra years than we do, but
But I
I've
don't
done
think he's been in the
I've done
program as
scouting as
much.
long as Denali has, because basically I joined when you joined from a adult volunteer perspective.
I've done scouting as long as I have.
That's true. So
I don't
did you
have
start as a
somebody
Cub
who-
Scout, Mark?
I did not. I started when I was 13.
Okay. So you don't have to be a Cub Scout to be a Boy Scout
No.
or a venturer.
No.
You could join at any time.
No. Yeah, absolutely.
And obviously we see that you made, your Eagle accomplishment without having been a Cub Scout.
Yeah.
So it is possible. It's just the Cub Scout experience probably gives you a little bit different rounding of the whole scouting
It
experience.
introduces a lot of concepts and ideas that the Boy Scouts will build on.
Right.
And I think if you go through the Cub Scout program, it's kind of an advantage. It
Right.
introduces, you're more prepared for what's coming up.
Sure.
But it's not necessary. I mean, I would encourage it, but
Right.
at 13 I couldn't. I joined as a Boy Scout and I made the most of it.
Oh, that's great. And you joined as a,
as a Wolf Scout,
okay. So this is your, what, 10th year?
10th
scouting?
year indeed of scouting. And I've enjoyed every minute of every year,
So we need to change your service pin out.
Only a new one too.
I
What's that?
suppose.
Yes, I know. We talked about service pins the other night. So, service pins is just, well, you have one on, I don't have one, but it's just an
Probably can't see it from here, but it's a little tiny star that has the number of years that you have been in the program.
Yep,
You only need 80 more years
that's right. Your goal mark is what?
to earn my 90-year service award.
Right. Which would make you how old if you were to be in scouting for 90 years?
103.
Okay. I like the passion, I have to say.
But apparently you have to be living and active to earn it, so
Oh,
we have a ways to go.
103 is a possibility. Yeah. All right. So both you guys have done training extensively. What would you say is some of your goals this year in scouting? Personal goals, not necessarily troop related, but what are some of your personal goals for scouting this year?
My personal goals for scouting, seeing as I'm senior patrol leader, a lot of it is intertwined with the troop. But what I want is, I don't necessarily want to be a senior patrol leader for the year. I want to be a senior patrol leader that leaves something better than you found it. I want to be able to leave the next generation of scouts that this is the way things worked out in the past, and not say you should do this, but this worked out, build off of what I've made and make it better.
Okay.
I want to create the foundation for the next people to come.
Yep.
I think
And-
I created the foundation. I was SPL
Oh.
before you.
Well, there we go. A little pride there. Oh, what personally are you working on this year?
Personally, I'm working on my Eagle project to get to the rank of Eagle.
Perfect.
It's a good one.
Yeah. Now, Mark, do you have any particular personal goals this year?
Well, I think right now, in the immediate, as in like the next 2 weeks future, I'm looking to earn my Bronze Eagle Palm, which is in addition to the Eagle Award, not higher up rank, but in addition to more leadership, more service, that sort of thing.
Yep.
But also, because I'm turning 18 in January, I'm really starting to figure out what I can do and how I can prepare myself for that and do what I can as a youth to continue to benefit, but then the other youth, but then also be prepared and prepare myself so I can be ready to do what I can do as an adult.
Sure. So one of the things that happened at summer camp last year is the Scoutmaster, Chuck Rue, basically promoted you to a role of Junior Assistant Scoutmaster. And I know we've all debated over the last 18 months roughly what does that mean and how does that work with our troop. And so,
It means he relatively does nothing.
really?
But I get you, when you go to district events, they have fun trying to figure that out with you, don't they?
Yes, they do. So, yeah, that might be a youth perspective. Of course, I have a different perspective as an adult, and so I know what I've asked Mark to do for me multiple times. But, you know, I guess the role in itself, Mark, and the goal probably from Chuck's perspective at the time was to help move you and prepare you to be perhaps an assistant scoutmaster. What are the, you know, talk about some of the adult positions for a moment, if you guys can. Like, what are some of the positions that
So
help?
you have the troop treasurer, who takes care of all the money. You have the troop advancement chairman, Jim Wunderlich, actually.
He's the committee
He's
chair.
the
chairman,
committee chairman,
Chair,
right.
Mr.
Chairman. You have the committee chairman, which is our illustrious Mr. Wunderlich. You have popcorn sales,
I think it's just fundraising chair.
Sure.
fundraising
All
chair,
goes into
popcorn
the same.
sales. We major in popcorn. We don't do cookies.
That's a good point. Although you eat your fair share of cookies.
That bacon ranch popcorn, though, is really good.
joke.
No.
Putting that out there.
So yes, popcorn. We do bottle drives, things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, Hidden Valley Ranch. Yeah,
Oh, very
Hidden
fun.
Valley.
So we do fundraising, bottle drives, popcorn, things like that. We do a lot of community service projects. Can you guys talk about any of the community service projects we might have done?
Well, recently, like in beginning of the year, we collected and retired American flags.
As part of,
My Eagle project,
there you go. Okay. How many did you retire?
600.
Exactly?
Yep,
Or was that,
I
okay.
collected 601.
Okay. Wow, that's amazing. That's right. So we did
But
that.
failed to burn one of them.
Yeah.
We'll retire. Burn is a harsh word.
Yeah, retire.
So where's the one left?
Sitting at Christopher's house.
Okay, so we're waiting to take care of that one at some
Yes.
point. All right, so we do need to retire it. Perfect. What else can you guys tell us about service projects? And I know you're not doing your service project necessarily for your Eagle yet, but what other projects have we done to help support either our chartered orgs or other folks?
We've attended some memorial services where we've done flag ceremonies for the Knights of Columbus on Memorial Day. We had in parades. We've in the past helped out the local non-food pantry in a pinch,
Yep,
moving supplies around, volunteering on when they're active.
Right. Yeah.
Done some of the Knights of Columbus suppers as well.
Oh, true. Yeah, we've had a few of those that we've helped out with. That's great. Talking about scout skills for a second, you guys have obviously, we talked a little bit about the different ranks and some of the things that we do. Some folks joke about, especially adults, like I've